What is spirituality? It is something we inherit or something we discover. It is in the scriptures or in silence. It is about believing in something greater or it is about experiencing something deeper. Most people hear the word and think of religion, of gods and heavens, of monks in robes and rituals repeated through centuries. But what if spirituality has nothing to do with tradition and everything to do with transformation? What if it's less about seeking the divine in the sky and more about finding clarity in the mirror? We often ask who I am, why I'm here, what is the purpose of this life, and what lies beyond death. Those are not scientific questions, they are spiritual ones. They come from somewhere deep within us, from a place that isn't satisfied with answers written in books or preached from platforms. They come from a quiet voice, often buried under noise, asking, is there more than just waking, working, consuming, or sleeping? Is there something within me that doesn't change even when everything else does? Spirituality is not about escaping life. It's about entering it more fully. It's about being present with your joy and your pain without needing to control or label them. It's not about perfection, but about authenticity. It's not about being positive all the time, but about being real all the time. To be spiritual is to be in touch with the truth, not universal truth someone told you to believe, but the truth that arises when you are no longer lying to yourself. And that truth is often quiet. It doesn't scream. It whispers in moments of stillness. You can sit in a temple and still be lost. You can never step into a church and still feel deeply connected. So then, what really matters? It is how you pray or how you live. It is the book you read or the way you treat someone when no one's watching. Maybe spirituality begins when we stop pretending, when we stop running, when we stop numbering ourselves with distractions, and finally sit with our own discomfort, not to judge it, not to fix it, but to understand it. It is possible that we carry within us a kind of inner compass, not made of ideas, but of awarenesses. What happens when we start to follow it? When we stop outsourcing truth to others and begin to trust what we deeply know, bend all the conditioning, the opinions, the expectations. Maybe spirituality has nothing to do with becoming someone better and everything to do with unbecoming everything we are not. The titles, the roles, the ego games. Maybe the spiritual journey is not about going somewhere else, but finally arriving here, in this moment. Exactly it is, right now, not tomorrow, right here, not in the next retreat or philosophy. People talk about enlightenment, but what if enlightenment is simply waking up from the trance of who you thought you were? What if it's not some fireworks in the sky, but the quiet realization that you have been looking outside for what was already inside? The peace was never out there. The God, or whatever you want to call it, was never far away. It was in your breath, in your stillness, in your ability to love without needing a reason. We live in a world obsessed with doing, with achieving, with proving. But maybe the most spiritual thing you can do is simply to pause, to breathe, to observe, to ask questions without rushing for answers, to sit with uncertainty and be okay with not knowing. Isn't that what children do before they are taught otherwise? They look at the world with wonder. They don't need beliefs. They experience life directly. Maybe spirituality is not something to be learned, but something to be experienced. Maybe you were already spiritual before you were told how to be. And if that's true, then spirituality is not somewhere far away. It's not hidden in the Himalayas or locked inside ancient text. It's right here, in your ability to feel, to question, to love, to let go, to simply be. It's in the way you show up, not just for others, not just for others but for yourself, especially when no one is looking. So, what is spirituality? Maybe it's not a concept to be defined, but a space to be lived. Maybe it's not an answer to be found, but a presence to be felt. Maybe it begins the moment you stop searching and start listening. And maybe, just maybe, you already are what you have been looking for. Thank you for watching. And don't forget like, subscribe, and what you feel express in comment. See you in next video. Bye bye.